Did I miss anything important there, Captain? I don't think I did, but
I mean, you summarized it in a pretty good way. From the sound of it, he explained his motive was the bench trial where he never got the fair due process.
that's
To
right.
where that was the main reason that fueled his anger and motivation for vengeance, to give Murphy a taste of his own medicine, to where he set up the crime scene almost identical to the original. That's what kind of got from him from the tape.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, and what the officers have brought up, and what I brought up in the tape is a lot of this information is public. A lot of this information was on the docket, and he was present at the court case. All we're making sure is saying, okay, is this information legit? Or is he just repeating the information somebody else is providing from?
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess, was the Delver detail public? That I didn't think came out. I didn't think we knew that part of it.
Which part? Yeah. What about Delver?
I didn't remember that coming up at trial. I thought that was an unidentified person. Is that not correct?
No, we knew it was Delver. We called Delver in to have a conversation with him. When we brought Delver in, you'll have to forgive me on this part. I'm going to get this part wrong. Delver claimed that he didn't know. I believe Delver was the one that was going to meet with Murphy Braun originally, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that may not be right. Regardless, every single person that we questioned did not have clear correlation as to who was kidnapped. And every time we asked, we even called somebody back in. It could have been Delver, but we tried to call back in for re-questioning. And when we called him, he claimed, I was high on drugs that day. So, yeah, we got dodgy witnesses from everybody.
Yeah, at first I will say John Paul didn't know Delver's name. He called him a clown, and then described him, and then based on the description, the conclusion was made that was Delver. So I think that's the only thing that, I mean, he would have had to gone out of his way to figure out, well, what does this person look like? What were they wearing on that day, et cetera, kind of thing. But that's,
I mean, it's also a possibility somebody can coach him on these things to say this right things when it comes. Right, I'm not saying that happened, but we also have to look at all the possibilities before saying yes.
I understand. But I think given what we've heard, it seems more probable than not this is absolutely the truth. There's nothing else that explains the series of events entirely in its entirety and explains every aspect of what happened that day like his story did. His story connects all of the dots, provides a motive, fills in all the blanks that were there.
Bob, what do you think?
You want my professional answer or my unprofessional answer?
I want whatever you think. Answer.
I'll give both. Keeps things interesting. I think unprofessional answer is it's a really shitty thing for someone to come forward after ruining a man's life to claim that, oh, I got to clear my conscience because I was a fuck up to ruin someone's life. Just so that the police department could nod their heads like a bunch of fucking babbling idiots after weeks of hard work to try and prove a man's innocence, to be found stuck having to charge this guy. We had nothing to prove otherwise. And now we can't even convict him. My professional answer is that, do I think that Murphy Braun's going to be found not guilty if this were to be reappealed? Yes, I'm almost guaranteed of it. Be honest with you, it would not even hurt me to see Murphy Braun have the charge dropped. What's going to bother the shit out of me, and the only thing I want to come out of this, is that I will accept the idea, and I believe I've spoken with Kid about this as well, we would accept the idea of Murphy Braun losing the charge under the request that our San Andreas state legislation, our constitution, get something changed to it so that this does not occur moving forward. This is egregious and disgusting and a really shitty thing for people to, for lack of a better term, abuse. This is a complete loophole in our DOJ, and it is incredibly disrespectful and immoral. I would even go as far to say, if I'm being honest.
I
Well,
absolutely agree.
To interject, how is it that no DNA was pulled to match with Jean Paul when this originally happened?
We didn't have the
the machine. Yeah, we didn't have the technology at the time when it happened. This happened like a month and a half ago.
Sounds like it won't happen again then if the cops do their job.
We did our job extensively from beginning to end. I mean, there was not
Yeah, sir. I know you did what you could at the time. I'm just saying, moving forward, I don't really see something like this ever happening, right?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm with you. Like I said, I understand that there were certain circumstances that we were, even from the PD side, I'll be the first to admit we were a little, pinned as to how far we were able to push with this. But we did literally everything that we possibly could have in that moment. I get that. I think that this whole thing with the appeal process and our statute of limitations is like an utmost needs to be brought up to either city council or to Chief Justice, because it's going to keep happening.
I agree, and I am absolutely happy to join in a meeting with Chief Justice and explain what happened and go through all of that. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing that change doesn't need to happen. I agree with you. I mean, I think that if there could be some reason why you would want to have some sort of extenuating circumstance or statute of limitations could be extended or something like that, or that something be transferred in the event. But I would say, I think in all of our interests, the first and topmost priority must be to exonerate an innocent man, period. I know you guys are officers and you guys are here to try and get the bad guy, right? But when we know that we have the wrong guy, it's equally as important that
100%.
we take care of that as soon as possible and not delay it any more than we have to.
Right. We're not in the business of ruining people's lives and, moving on and not have to look back and say, you know what, we could have done a better job, or we'll fix this mistake, or you know what, there's evidence that show this person is innocent, not guilty of this charge. So I'm with you on that. I don't have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of being fair and a matter of being just about it. That's all.
As long as they're willing to entertain some kind of clause so that moving forward, people don't wait till the 31st day to come clean and have charges dropped on friends, then I don't see an issue. And I'm not saying that that's what happened here, but moving forward, it's not even, granted, the possession of a government issued firearm, while it is an insanely hefty charge, is not a capital punishment. Capital punishment charges could be abused in the exact same way. And I know, Monroe, that you and I talked about this yesterday. But
absolutely. Now, there's two things. One, I don't think this appeal should be held hostage on contingency that DOJ promises to do something. I think we have to be careful with that, because either way, we still have an innocent person who's convicted. So again, I hear you and I agree, and I will advocate with you, but I don't think one can be contingent upon the other. So that's first. Second, I think Captain Slacks, you can probably attest to, John Paul showed no love for Murphy Braun other than him doing the right thing. He was very clear he doesn't like Murphy. He doesn't, there's no love there. He wanted Murphy to pay, and he made Murphy pay. And Murphy's been paying for over a month. And he's been without a job. He's been without being able to do what he loves. And he's had his name completely tarnished. So I want to erase the idea that there was some sort of connection where, JP, tried to help Murphy. I mean, JP was trying to clear his conscience and make himself feel better. And Murphy just happened to benefit from that.
Right. I mean, he said on the recording, it's a win-win for him. One, Murphy's life is ruined, right? Or two, if he's not charged with it, then he can go on full blast and say the PD's corrupt and they're covering for the DOJ. So to Mr. Paul, it didn't matter how the dice rolled. He got a W.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, Captain, if I could have a moment of your time, very briefly.
Sure thing.
I want to be clear too that I'm not stating that there was any friendly relation between the two. It's just it is. It's going to be a thing where friends are going to be backing each other up,
That I get.
and it's going to happen. It's not a matter
without
of
a doubt.
if; it's a matter of when. If this
Exactly.
isn't precedent setting to what we are expected to see, then I don't know what is. And I'm not willing to hold an innocent man if that's the case. I would have to talk with Kit Archer just to confirm with her that she is also in agreement with following through this. I
Okay.
think there's hopes of us looking to drop charges. I'm gonna be honest. I think that the main takeaway here is that as long as Kit doesn't have any pushback to it, I know she made mention of concerns about dropping charges, and I would, to some degree agree with her. I do think that just dropping the charges wholeheartedly leaves concern. Especially if nothing changes. But I also agree on the same flip that we can't hold someone who could be argued as innocent. I'm sort of in a weird spot where I'm trying to make the correct answer as to if what was stated is enough to exonerate Braun in light of the DOJ. Because the correct me if I'm wrong, in an appeal process, doesn't a judge have to be the one to decide that?
No, not if you do not contest the appeal in the first place.
Mhm.
And actually, this has been shown a couple of times now. So I had a very similar, albeit very different situation.
For the record, this
where-
is my very first. I've never actually gone through an appeal ever in my career, so
Yeah.
I'm learning to.
So basically, and these were bench trials; these weren't appeals. So I want to be clear on that. But appeals shouldn't be any different in this way, and I'll explain why. So we had a situation where someone was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, and I took the case file, I reviewed the case file, and I made a bunch of notes about it. And I went back to the officer and I read the stand your ground law and the Constitution to the officer, and I said, listen, I can point to the fact that this person attempted to de-escalate the situation. They made warnings. There were people on the ground injured. The person was defending those people who could not run away. And this will end up being found not guilty in that we can articulate the self-defense exactly this way. So, can you fight it? The answer is yes. Yes, you can still fight it.
Doing the
You
right
can
thing
still
is a
try to get
stretch.
conviction.
Yeah.
But it's not, we're giving you the
Now I
means
return
to
Missile.
understand that this person tried to follow the law, right?
Good night.
And so because of that, that person then went and posted on the appeal for the docket case and basically said, I'm the arresting officer and I am not contesting these charges. The judge was able to immediately close it same day with prejudice and finish it, and it's done. And that's happened on 2 separate occasions now. So this appeal, while generally would need to be picked up by a judge and handled, we could still be some guy just got ran over out there.
I think I might have missed another Rapid Cruiser.
Uh,
But I think it
could
might
still
have
be
been National.
decide to not be contested in the same way. So if you as the primary officer say, I am using my prosecutorial discretion, I do not wish to contest this appeal, and I can even help you write something up if you're looking for, just something to make a statement about it. Essentially, I don't mind helping you guys with that. I think there's a way where you can turn this whole situation into a PRW for the police department, and I think you should, because it's you guys doing the right thing. And regardless of who you're doing the right thing for, I do think people will appreciate the fact that you all have taken on new evidence. You didn't then go and still try to hold the guy down and fight it. You accepted it and you exonerated him. I don't think that's something that anybody will give you guys shit for, if I'm being completely honest. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misperceiving the response we'll receive, but that's my take.
I don't think the public eye is gonna. I don't disagree with you on that. The only rebuttal I have is that this isn't just a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is also Kit Archer. This is also
Sure.
Oliver Hall. Before I'm able to make that final call, it would be in my best interest to have a proper sit down with all three of them, myself, Kit, and Oliver. And obviously Slacks would be more than welcome there if you were around. And just lay it out, because I don't think anybody would actually necessarily have full disagreements, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You hear the joke about PD communication. I want to make sure just everybody is communicated to who has been involved in this, that this is sort of what's been proposed. This is the new evidence. Please review it. What do you think?
I don't disagree with you guys in a sense, but I have to be honest. I tried talking to Hall about this, and I don't get the feeling that Hall cares at all. I think he cares solely about his conviction rate and his ability to try and secure a position as a district attorney. That's my honest feeling. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think his interest is doing the right thing. I think his interest is very narrow. And I mean, based on my conversation with him, I explained to him, what we would probably see on the video. Of course, he said he wanted to see it. Of course, I don't have any objection to that. Of course he wants to see it for himself. I don't trust him to believe everything that I say. But even then, his concern was more about, was the appeal process followed correctly to even warrant the appeal in the first place? Not whether or not an innocent person was convicted. It was, well, was the right process followed? Did the right thing get done? That was his concern. And to me, when you're talking about someone who we are essentially trying to prove is innocent beyond a reasonable doubt, that is extremely damaging to hear that kind of talk. That, oh, well, is the appeal
Oh,
in the
pop
right
meat kettle.
format? Did we follow this? Did we do that? So I don't, it's your choice, obviously.
Respectfully, while I agree with you that maybe it could be viewed that way, I'm also having to sit here and essentially just take the fact that someone came in past statute to set a man free and abuse our Constitution. Right?
Yeah, I understand.
So while I agree with you, I do also think that the double-edged sword here is that, John Paul's side of things is very bittersweet. It's more bitter than it is sweet. And Hall's statement on that, while I understand where he's coming from, I'll be honest, I haven't had a meeting or conversation with Hall since the appeal process started. His time and my time don't line up. So I'll talk to him.
Hello.
I'll talk to Kit. Once I hear both their sides, come up with an answer. I don't mind following through personally.
Okay.
I'm mainly more about where Kit's at with this, as she did so much work for this. I would argue she did more work than I did.
Yeah.
Respectfully. So I wanna make sure that Kit's on board with this as well. I think all we want out of this is that it's not about the charge on Bron. It's about just making sure that if we're going to let this go, we are not setting a bad precedent that anybody can do this. If this is being resolved, this needs to be resolved from whoever needs to be the one to make change on our Constitution, because it is going to set a bad example that people could just do this.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I understand, and
I'm not gonna hold it
with it for the most part.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it. I've already informed Judge Bailey about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he's already brought it up with Justice Crane. I have not heard an actual answer past that, but I have no problem pushing this as soon as possible, as long as soon as possible we can resolve this. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't have any interest in entertaining cases where people are doing this moving forward.
No.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope for sure, right? And that's the whole thing. I have a problem with it because it can get very messy, and us trying to arrest people, as far as us trying to pursue charges and making sure that we do our due diligence. Just for somebody to get set up, and then for somebody else to come in and confess, set them free. Just what Flop said. I'm not gonna go in circles anymore. I think we've said our piece.
Yeah,
And when we talk about it, I
okay.
think we're just I think we're all both on the same page.
Yeah, there's no disagreement on my side. You know, like I said, I mean, I think the problem is, I think this is an especially unique case where it always felt like a setup. There was always a lot of evidence leading to that it could have been a setup. We just didn't have the connection to connect the dots to the setup, right? I think that's the difference, in my opinion, where I don't think you see that in a lot of other cases. But I understand what you guys are saying. Yeah.
Right. I think we're not. I'm not really talking more Murphy's case. I'm more talking long term. That's all.
No, agreed. 100% agreed. Yeah, people can try and leave things like looking like a frame when it's actually not, and so on and so forth. I get it. I get that it's a big pain in the ass, and it's something that has to be addressed. So, I guess so. Let me just ask this then. So, what can I go back, because I want to be able to give Murphy something. I haven't been able to give him an update in, I think it's been 3 or 4 days now since we've had this statement. What can I go back and tell him? Like, what can we put a timeline on this? Can we give him some idea of, I mean, this guy just wants to get back to work. That's it.
Sure. Let him know that you had a discussion with myself and Captain Slacks, and Flop is going to go to the other primary lead investigator with this, which was Kit Archer, and they're going to have a discussion and give him a 24-hour window. Let him know by tomorrow I should have an answer. I will do everything to try and give him that window. As long as Kit's around, great. If I don't see Oliver, I might just contact him and let him know, hey, you know, we've discussed and this is what we want to do. Because reality is that, respectfully, if Oliver wanted to follow through and pursue, the reality is I'm not. His word of what he's defending is based on what I proposed to him.
Well,
right?
He works for you. Let's be clear on that. He has no authority to press these charges without.
Yeah. I have nothing but the utmost for Oliver. But
Right. I agree.
in this circumstance, as long as I can hopefully make the case to whoever I need to about our Constitution, I don't see any issues in trying to get this done with by tomorrow. I just have to talk to Kit first.
Understood. All right. 24 hours. Cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of
That
course,
works
not a
for me.
problem.
I will let Murphy know. If there's anything else that you guys need from me, I try to be around quite a bit. So let me know, text me, whatever. I'm happy to help wherever I can. And yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm with you guys. I don't want to see this happening more either. This is not, these cases, I hope, are frame cases in general are just not common. I hope.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's in any disagreements. We'll circle back to it. I'll have an answer for you about tomorrow, hopefully. If it gets extended, that's if Kit's around. I'll email her and hopefully we can try and set up a meeting and
Okay.
try and make it happen.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Larry,
Anything
John,
else? Anything else I can do for you guys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm like,
We are all good. Let me give this back to you.
Oh yeah. Rich. Yep. So let me just ask you this: what's the process for following up on a complaint then? Because obviously my concern is with the complaint that I gave Barrick. This is so. By the way, I'm done with Murphy now. Moving on.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the complaint that I gave to Barrick, my concern is that this kind of sets the precedent that I can't trust the police to go through with their plea deals. And that makes it very hard for me when you guys want to make deals with clients that I'm going to be working with, if I feel like I can't trust you guys to hold up to your end of it. So I need to know how to take that complaint further and figure out how we're going to resolve it. Are the police going to go back to the deal that we discussed before? I mean, my client was willing to give information on a PD gun to drop all of the charges. The only way that they would entertain that is if she provided full information, including physical evidence of this PD Glock, which to my point, I was like, no, people don't text about PD Glocks. People don't take pictures of people holding PD Glocks, generally speaking. Like, you know, you go try to take a picture of somebody holding a PD Glock. See how well that goes for you. Like the request was unreachable, but the information that was asked for about the weed, she absolutely provided all of it. So she met the agreement for the first deal that was made. She didn't meet the arrangement for the second deal to drop all the charges, but then they just said, oh no, we're still going to hit you with this felony over here. And so I understand Officer Watts doesn't like me and he's going to file a bar complaint, and that's fine. He's entitled to do that. I don't give a shit. But I'm just concerned with how are we going to solve this problem? Because all I can do right now is say, hey guys, if you're ever working with Chris Watts, don't make a plea deal with him, to my clients and to other attorneys, because that's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. We have had situations where now my question to you is, it was what? Was there anybody else who was also there? Do you know of any other officers that were also present, or was it just what?
Shit. What was her name? Orange hair woman.
Kelly?
Cadet. She didn't have any stripes. I don't remember her name.
Okay. So here's
She
where
chewed me out when I recommended that he get retraining when he tried to tell me that it was my job to read my client Miranda rights. Apparently she took that very offensively.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It was a weird argument. Basically, I'd mentioned that, hey, you never read my client Miranda. You didn't read it at the beginning of the interrogation either. And he said, well, if you bring that up in court, good luck. I'll file a bar complaint on you because it's your job to tell your client about those rights. And I was like, no, Miranda versus Arizona is very much about the police reading the rights, not an attorney. But anyways, it's fine. I'm past that. I just want to know how we're going to deal with the deal.
Yeah. I'll break it down. So in most of my experience, and I mean this, I've followed this and I'm following it more now than I ever did. I know that everybody kind of leaves the impact of the PD based on the way that they carry themselves. I, for one, carry myself the way that I want to carry myself, regardless of how the PD's views may follow. I believe that, while I try and follow the views of how the PD wants to operate, I do things my way as long as I'm still following our, standard operating procedure, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
I'm still my own person. I don't speak for everybody, but I can speak for this much. In my experience, typically with plea agreements, we follow through with them. The only times that we actually don't follow through with a plea agreement is if somebody of command votes against it. If somebody of a higher rank turns around and says, no, absolutely not, going too far, whatever the case may be, sometimes we need to lay it out and say, listen, we need to go back on our, whatever. But typically we won't just come out and say that. Typically the circumstances, we'll say that there's not enough. Am I saying that that's what happened in this case? No. In my experience, if I offer a plea agreement or I accept a plea agreement, that's more of a gentleman's agreement at that point, that I'm willing to give that to you. Excuse me.
Correct.
As long as you're willing to give something back to me that is actually of my value.
Yeah, and in this case, so we explained who gave her the weed, who gave that person the weed, physical evidence of that person drawing
They messed
the
up
weed in
not
their
rating
apartment,
JP for the gun today.
and the fact that
Dog,
that
I wasn't
person is also
around.
growing weed,
What the fuck?
and somehow that wasn't enough for the agreement.
What was that last part you said? I'm sorry.
So we gave them the person who gave her the weed, person who gave that person the weed, the fact that that person who gave, so essentially Ember got the weed from Chatterbox. Chatterbox got the weed from Bonbon. There is a photo of Bonbon drying weed in his apartment. And on top of that, Bonbon is out there growing the weed. Now, she may not know the exact locations of where he's growing it, but the fact that he's growing it is enough for you guys to surveil him and figure out where he's growing it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, granted, with all due respect, I wasn't there to kind of witness sort of what
I
happened.
understand.
So I can't say exactly to the actual value of the information. Only Watt can give
Sure.
that. But what I can say for certain is that if I agree to some sort of a plea, I follow through with it.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to fall back on a plea, but it's also immoral to fall back on a plea, right? It's
It
fucked
puts
up.
us in this position where
Exactly.
how do I now trust the rest of the PD?
Yeah. Like I said, I personally will never fall back on a plea agreement as long as it is something that is worth the value. And I'll be honest, I have never fallen back on a plea agreement, but there will be a time where somebody states that for a drop charge, and then they give me some spit in a bucket information, and it's gonna be okay. No,
Sure.
thank you. But
Yeah. I think if the information was bad, I think that would be one thing I could understand. Or, like in this case, we also have physical evidence.
Mhm.
It's not just words. There's proof.
sure.
So to me, I don't know. That's where I find it tough to not say that's not good enough.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Very, very uncommon that we have enough to give you physical evidence in the heat of the moment during an interrogation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often.
I'm gonna say this much. This is where I'm at with it, and this is what I'm gonna say. Do I think that there's gonna be internal punishment for falling back on a plea agreement? I'll be honest with you. I don't. I wouldn't see it being a thing.
that's
Maybe this falls under being unprofessional. I don't know. Maybe it could be argued, but I think that it definitely starts the conversation to say, okay, because I'm not gonna lie, this is not the first time someone's fallen back on a plea agreement.
Right.
So I do think opening up that door of conversation to state, hey, how should we be treating plea agreements is going to come into line. Because obviously they can't be, legal binding contracts, but we also need to be, we need to
I mean,
have
we're almost
our,
to the point where we almost have to have them legal binding contracts. If we're gonna
yeah,
have
we
to worry
need
about them.
morals. Yeah. We morally need to kind of have a middle ground here on this. And I do think that a conversation needs to be had. So to kind of answer your question, Barrick would be your best point for updates on complaints.
Okay.
But as for kind of where I see this going, I'm willing to entertain the discussion because I do think we need something more finite for plea agreements.
All we want at the end of the day is just the same damn deal that we already made. Give her the damn misdemeanors and she'll plead guilty. But right now she has to plead not guilty and we have to take it to appeal. Then I have to put the officer on the stand to admit that he reneged on the plea agreement. And while you're right, it's not binding in law per se. I don't think a judge is going to be very happy hearing about that. One, two, when we explain the what she actually gave, I don't think he's going to be very happy about that. I don't think they're going to be very
Flopp's
happy
about
about
to
the Miranda
cook.
not being read. There's just a lot of issues I think that
You
a
know
judge
what
is
I
going
mean,
to take
though,
with
right?
this
Like,
if
if
they take it
there's-
to trial.
Mhm.
And again, and that's not me trying to threaten. I'm just saying, how can I not bring it up?
No, that's fair. I get that. I mean, it's sort of the same feeling I probably have involving.
Siobhan, I'm talking to Flop. I need just a second.
I think we're about done. But
I will, but I'm talking to Flop. Yeah, okay, bye. Yep, bye.
oh,
Jesus Christ.
shove
She's
on.
freaking out about.
Oh
well,
God.
Don't tell anyone, but like I guess it's Max's birthday or something.
Oh.
She's trying to buy him like a house or something.
Oh.
So she's borrowing some money from me to do it. So anyways, she's freaking out. She's called me 3 times while we've been talking. So I had to answer it finally.
No.
Sorry.
You are perfectly fine. Yeah, I think
anyways.
I think your feeling about that situation is probably similar to how I feel about the John Paul situation. Completely unrelated, but similar, right?
Yeah, I get
Technically,
it. Yeah.
not binded by the law in any way to come out and confess, but at the same time, it's like, damn, that's fucked up.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm with you. I do think that we need to open up some kind of a conversation for that. As long as the information is valuable and we're able to actually build off of it, I think that is a fair line.
Yeah.
but yeah.
I'm more, and I'll be honest, I'm more concerned with the fact that the only evidence they would take to make a deal about the PD Glock, which in my opinion, like, okay, so I get it. Weed's illegal, right? Weed is bad. shame on you. We're talking about a goddamn weapon that was stolen from a police officer, and that's not the bigger priority here. And we'll only make a deal if we can provide physical evidence tying a person to that Glock. That seems insane to me. How are we supposed to get physical evidence tying a person to a Glock to make a deal? When is that ever going to be a thing? I mean, you have somebody on the inside of an established group within the city informing on someone else in said group, informing you that they have something very, very illegal. And the only way the police will take a report on it is if they have physical evidence, or, you know, the only way they'll make a deal on it is if they have physical evidence. That blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's
Why?
yeah, no, I agree with you. That's a lot.
I don't get it. I can't imagine that somebody on the inside of that group giving you, yes, I saw this person. I've seen them have the gun. They keep it in this place.
I cannot wait to talk about
I
this
don't
conversation.
see how there's a world where you guys don't get a search warrant on that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I wish I was there for it to have more information.
Yeah.
I would definitely make comment that Barrick would be your guy to talk to. He's not around right now, but at some point
No,
soon,
that's fine.
definitely,
Yeah, I'll follow up with them tomorrow. Like
definitely
I said,
follow up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to. One, I want to put this shit behind us so we can get the goddamn deal done, so that you can get it, whatever, and move on.
Mhm.
Then, second, figure out how we rebuild the trust that I feel like we lost now.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. All right. Well, I'll talk to Barrick. I'll touch base with him, let him know that we talked, and by tomorrow, I'm sure we'll talk, and hopefully, I'll have a discussion with Kit done, and we can go from there.
for sure. I mean, we've always been a straight shooter, and I appreciate that about you.
Yeah, I try. I try and keep it honest. I don't try and lie. I try and keep it blunt.
So,
So
point, man. Like we're all you guys are stuck dealing with my ass for the indefinite period of time that I am an attorney, and I'm
Yeah.
stuck dealing with. So like let's not let's
keep
not
it
make
cordial.
any-
Let's not ruin that
Exactly.
trust. It's either
Exactly.
cutthroat or it's a conversation piece. So
Correct, because otherwise it's okay. So every time you call me down, it's now bench trial because I can't trust you to make a deal. So now I just got to fight every charge. Like that's not a great relationship.
it's not. It becomes an unhealthy one. So I'm definitely with you. And honestly, good trust and good relations goes far with me. And I've never had anything against you. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, of course.
All right, well, you take care of yourself, Flop. We'll talk soon. Okay.
You as well, Monroe. You take care.
appreciate it.
Woo! Flop is cooking. I think Monroe is right. The thing that needs to happen, though, is that Monroe's right that if we come forward and state, hey, Murphy Braun should be exonerated of his charges because XYZ, the issue that falls in line. So Oliver's doing the right thing by asking, is the appeal process legitimate? That's number one, right? Number one. Number two, Flop having the hello. Sorry.
Because Zakid Skangerton and
Bob, do you have 45 caliber rounds in your locker?
Probably not. I'm gonna check, but probably not.
McNulty, let's talk tomorrow about that, and I'll talk to Suarez as well. Figure out what the hell happened because it seemed like some of the evidence is missing. Maybe Suarez didn't place it all in the evidence locker.
Which evidence?
oh no, we pulled it out.
No, I
just
don't.
now.
All of it?
Just the two guns.
Which evidence?
The gun and the ammunition.
The recyclable material?
So
Recyclable material? Okay, so I can explain. I can explain that.
Okay.
That's not missing. I can tell you where that is. It's not missing.
the thing that I'm falling in line with everything is that Flop as a character has completely lost faith in pursuing criminal charges on people to the docket. And honestly, Flop is gonna probably more times than not until it's resolved make change. He can't hold Murphy Braun. He needs to talk with Kit, make sure Kit is in agreement with this. I think that the thing is that while Flop agrees with Monroe, and while I understand where Monroe's coming from, the other side of that too is if we let Murphy Braun go, while it makes the PD look good, it also sets the example that you too can hide under a shell for 30 days. And on the 31st day, you can come out of your cocoon and go, by the way, I did the crime, wasn't him, and then crawl back under your shell, and now you're both out scot-free. So the idea that needs to change is that if this is the motive that we're gonna go with, there needs to be another. Yeah, it sets precedent. While it sets precedent that it makes the PD look good because, oh my God, we got new evidence, we're gonna let Murphy Braun go. It also sets bad precedent at the same time that if this is the motive that we're going with, every criminal is going to abuse this and eat it up like fucking. It is. I'm telling you, the decision on this is a lot bigger than Monroe is making it out to be. And that's why Flop played it up unprofessionally and professionally. Unprofessionally, this is fucking stupid. Professionally, to follow through the Constitution like this and essentially loophole our Constitution is gross negligence on due process. So, is withholding information a crime in NoPixel? Technically, yes, but this new evidence is involved with a previous crime, and there's no way to actually follow through with this. I wouldn't care to drop the charges as long as the clause was proposed to the DOJ. At the minimum. Because right now there is no clause. Right now, if you just wait till 30 days, you can just walk in court and say, yo, I did that shit, not that person. And as long as you can correlate the story, is it accurate? So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Like their MDT and put spare key.
I guess. I mean, it's more.
With my accent, it sounds like I'm saying Sparky.
Did you get my text?
Well, check the report it's referencing. In the fucking announcement, whatever it is.
Operation Backdoor Discovery.
Hey, you like that?
I like that.
Forte, what? Here, come here. Sorry, I've been talking all fucking day. My voice is raspy.
No, you're good.
What,
There's a medical certification, like a first responder thing for officers.
is there really?
That's what I heard. It was announced in not this briefing, but the briefing before. It's at least what I was told. I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about it, and I don't know if PPOs can go for certs. If it's a medical cert, though, I don't see a reason why you couldn't get further training on infield medical training. I would have.
I have like a prior history. That's why.
Yeah. I can talk to Slacks just to confirm, and as long as there's no problem with it, I don't see an issue why you couldn't follow through. But
yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, hold off on it until I get the confirmation. I haven't even heard about it. Who runs the certification?
I have no idea. I guess you have to talk to EMS.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Let me see what I can do, and I can get back to you. Give me a couple to try and pull Slacks again. Poor Slacks. Never mind. Slacks 142.
No, yeah, do your thing. It doesn't. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, of course you're good. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Cool. I gotta send an email and cry in a shower. Okay. Withholding information like XQC for 30 days should be a crime, IMO. Nobody disagrees that it shouldn't be a crime. I think everybody agrees that it should be a crime. And we just need a clause. All we need is a simple sentence in our Constitution that states any new evidence proposed in an appeal process, it is admissible in court. Done. That's it. You know what I mean? Like there's no secret to. There's no secret.
All right, I'm going to sleep. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah, take it easy.
Where did Cornwood go? God damn it. Do we think we could actually leave the PD now? Oh my God, Monster Fuel, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate you. Howdy, what's going on? Thank you. Bunch of hearts. I would appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's bared with me during all of the meeting RP. It's a lot. It's a lot. This is all. This is the meeting life, dog. All right.
Hey, Flop, what's up?
Hey, you can drive a Taurus.
Heck yeah. All right, thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Bye.
All right. All right. I've been cleaning anything that can fit into the tank. I got this stuff called Barkeeper's Friend. And I've geeked out over cleaning stainless steel. I never thought I was going to. Elephant use a co-pilot ammo. Does Elephant or just Rhodes? Does it work well? Oh my God, it's so cool. Dispatch 125 10-8. Hello. I want to go pull people over today. Oh my God. There's 5 of us? Dude, that's crazy. Dispatch 125 attempting to pull over a blue in color SUV that just ran 2 lights. It's going to be northbound on Elgin. Vehicle's pulling over now. It's going to be a 1038 northbound Elgin Avenue, blue in color SUV. Plate coming back 1060 requesting 77.
119.23.
Hello, Ember. How you doing?
Hi, Flips.
Could I get some license registration, please?
Wait, the cops took my ID.
The cops took your ID?
Yeah. I
When?
got arrested last night. Yesterday.
Who took your
like,
ID?
14 hours ago. I'm not sure. I was in a traffic stop. I gave it to an officer.
You know you can buy a new one at the courthouse, right?
Oh, I just came from my PD. Like I collected my stuff.
So you know you didn't have an ID and you still got a car?
Oh, I needed to get somewhere.
Okay. You know you can call somebody, right?
Oh, I have no money.
So you stole a car?
That's. Oh yeah. Hey, I didn't say that.
Ember, do you mind stepping out of the car? We'll talk on the side of the road. I'm gonna tell you now, it is not worth running. You work with me, I'm gonna work with you. Step out of the car and we can talk, okay? I'm not even gonna place you in cuffs.
Wait.
I can promise you.
Okay.
All right. Come to the side of the road. All right. Ember, you don't have an ID on you?
No, like like what can I do? Like, I have some weird stuff.
You have what?
I have some weird
Dispatch
stuff.
130 got a 1060 vehicle eastbound Haywick. Approaching a bank.
Oh, I have this punchy screwdriver.
Don't be reaching for stuff. You can put that away. It's fine.
77's available.
120 on behind you.
I'll tell you what. Do you have anything illegal on you right now?
Oh, I have a flag.
That's nice. It's a nice flag.
Yes.
I'm gonna search you for anything illegal. Do you have anything illegal on you at this time?
Yes.
What do you have?
If I drink alcohol, would it not be illegal anymore?
What is it?
If I drank alcohol, would it not be illegal anymore?
Do you have alcohol on you?
Maybe.
What kind of alcohol?
128, quick as third unit rolling towards the Howick Bank in front of Pick Cage.
Moonshine.
Okay. Can you face away from me and I'm just gonna search you?
Wait. Okay.
All right.
That was gonna be a present for someone.
What is this little thing of blood you got here? What the hell is this?
I didn't even know it was illegal until I was asking a lawyer. I showed someone and they said it was illegal, but they didn't take it off me yesterday.
All right. Ember, stay on the side of the road for me, okay?
Wait, really?
I'm gonna go run your info. Just
Wait.
what?
Okay.
Is there anything illegal in the vehicle?
Wait, why are you getting in my car?
It's not your car. You stole it.
Wait.
Ember, you told me that you sold the vehicle, correct?
Hey, can I have the ball back?
Can what?
Can I have the ball back, please?
Not yet. Just give me a second. Okay, the hell, Ember. Ember? You're just gonna have a warrant. This is not worth it. I promise you. It is gonna be a really fucking horrible day if you take off right now. Get out of the car.
You already took my bottle.
Ember. Either you can stay on the side of the road and you can comply like you've been doing, and I can work with you. I promise you that if you do not get out of the vehicle, this is going to go horribly for you. I'm giving you the utmost opportunity to make the right choice right now. I recommend you make the right choice.
Okay, can I have the ball back and
Get out of the car and we can talk about getting the bottle back to you. You need to step out of the car.
Okay.
Get on the side of the road. Do not enter that vehicle. Forte, can you just go have a conversation with her? Just make sure she stays put.
10-4.
Hey!
I believe Moonshine is...
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Just come to talk. I'm not doing anything. I want you to be out here just alone.
Oh, God. She's got so many charges in this. I think we might have to.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm very forgettable.
Ember.
You can stand still. I'm not gonna try anything.
Um,
Just because I'm a cop doesn't mean I don't have any morals. Listen, I'm not gonna try anything silly on you. I'm just here to keep you company.
I really need to get somewhere as well.
Where are you going?
A special place.
Special place. Special place. Miles.
I'm gonna ignore the blood sample.
Man, that freeway's been under construction for like
Actually, I'm gonna hit her with negligent driving because that was negligent driving. She was on opposing lanes, drove through red lights. The Moonshine. and the joyriding.
But then I won't be able to do it anymore.
Well, it'd be helpful information for us.
I gave you guys information yesterday and you went back on the deal. And I'm bit,
Well, I
happy
didn't.
with you guys.
You guys, you can't sum the LSPD up as a whole. We are an entity. We are a family, but you have to treat and see each officer individually. Like, if you would have handed me that information yesterday, maybe things would be different. You know. But you guys, no.
Hey, can I have the ball back, please?
Ember, I can't give you back the bottle.
Wait, got you. That was a present for someone.
And it's illegal. And I mean, Ember, if you really want to try and question this, I saw a bottle of moonshine in your hand while you were in the driver's seat of that car.
Oh God.
Oh, I thought it wouldn't be illegal anymore if I drank it all, but I didn't know. It's quite a big bottle.
You okay? You think
you need
some
medical?
water?
Yeah, I'm okay. Well,
Oh.
this is about like my food hits.
Yes.
A lot from drinking that.
Okay, so here's the deal, Ember. I'm taking the blood sample from you. I don't know where the hell you got this. This is technically government
Wait,
equipment.
You took my blood sample. I stole it from a scene.
Okay, and I'm taking it.
I took it.
I'm taking it.
Wait, it was my blood sample.
And I'm taking it. You're looking at. I'm gonna read you off your charges. Okay.
Wait, charges?
Absolutely. You're in a stolen car. You're driving without an ID.
My gosh.
Ember, you're looking at 4 charges today. Now I'm
I mean,
gonna
I'd buy you a new ID if you wanted one.
Like what the other two?
So I pulled you over initially for your driving. You ran 2 red lights and then we're driving in opposing lanes where you then pulled over the vehicle. So you're looking at 1 count of negligent driving. When I asked you for your ID, you couldn't provide one. So you're looking at 1 count of operating a motor vehicle without proper ID. When I asked you about the vehicle looks like it's been tampered with. I'm hitting you for a count of joyriding. And I'm also hitting you for the misdemeanor possession of moonshine.
Like, okay.
I'm not gonna screw you
I'll
over.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I'll do.
Oh my God!
Dispatch 125. Blue and color SUV taking off. I mean, it's gonna be Ember Quinn. Left westbound Swiss Street 1080. She just tackled me after I tried reading off her charges. Left southbound Power Street. Continuing southbound Power. Crossing Vespucci. Doing southbound Power. Right westbound Adams Apple Boulevard. You know, Ember, all I'm gonna say is you just turned a fine and time served into prison. Continuing westbound Adams Apple, left southbound Calais, right westbound crossing over through to South Rockford Drive, right northbound South Rockford. Ember, I'm gonna only give you 1 warning. Pull the vehicle over and give it up or we are gonna get aggressive. Continuing northbound Palomino, PBS is gonna be approved on this vehicle. If we can get 1 more unit on this, it would be appreciated. We have 2 on it right now. I gave her every opportunity to comply and was as lenient as possible, and she still attempted to tackle and run. I'm not giving her any leniency. Continuing northbound Palomino, left westbound Dorset.
Correction, PBS is good to go.
Copy that. Left southbound, correction, westbound Heritage. Just be mindful on heavily populated areas. Left southbound Movie Star Way. Left eastbound San Andreas Avenue, Ember is all over the road in opposing lanes, driving on sidewalks. Left northbound Palomino.